I'm Claudeth James Henry. At that time I was Claudeth James because I got married in '69. We were really, at that time, trying to stand up for what Walter Rodney stood up for and to say that what he was talking about was the right way to go. And the hierarchy never believed us. And so we took part in every action or every reaction that was going. I came on campus in 66, September of 66, I think. And I was studying arts because I did history and English, basically. Those were the areas that I did.
And were you involved with the guild?
Not really. My fiance at the time was, but I was not.
So do you
He lived on campus, I lived off campus, so it was a little easier for him too.
Right.
Yes.
So you remember meeting Walter Rodney?
Yes. Yes. In fact, I remember going to lectures with him, and he was just this open, young, radical, saying anything very endearing and also very kind of intimidating in some aspects, but very, very almost Jamaican, we thought he was. But he was somebody that we admired a lot and felt that we could stand up for what he believed in and identify with it as well.
And what were the kind of main messages that you recall getting from Rodney?
He was trying to say that if we are left to ourselves, if we can prolong our own path rather than be sustained or dominated by international so-called foreign powers, then we would have a better chance than falling in line, with what other people felt for us. We should be charting our own destiny, that sort of idea, rather than just succumbing to what other people thought we should do and should be. That was the main message that I had.
You said you went to classes, you went to Rodney's lectures?
I've been to one or two, yes.
Do you remember?
Because he was a historian, and my main thing was history at the time. In fact, I wanted to have done a master's in history coming out of that whole experience. Didn't do it, but...
Do you remember where those lectures were held?
I cannot recall. My only thought is that they were in that main building opposite the registry. That's where I see him, but it might not have been because that's where I also saw people like Mandela and Michael Manley and people like that. But that's my recollection. I can't.
So tell me about October 1968. What's your recollection of that whole event?
The whole event is very wavy in my mind. But I know that we all put on our clothes, specific clothes that we could be comfortable for the time, and we went walking all along the road, leading out of campus, and it was a kind of solemn affair, but at the same time, students, we always found a way to water go on and to hype it and to make the most of it. But we recognized how solemn it was, and with the police and the whole Mr. Scheer at that time was Prime Minister, I think. And he was so adamant, so against what we were doing, what we were thinking, that alone was outrageous.
So what's been your connection to UE after you finished at school?
Well, I came back to do a master's in psychology. Then I did a diploma in education, yes. And then I came back to teach. I taught use of English for some time, well, as a tutor. And then I worked in the Department of Education for some time, and that went on for maybe 15 years. I'd come and go, not a permanent member of staff. But it has been a wonderful experience, and of course, you said a few pelicans along the way.